man, I could have lived a much better life if I just would have just suffered a little bit more.
When you set goals, when you have an intention on something that you want to change about your life, your brain helps you. What it does is it opens up a checklist.
When I fell off my bike, my dad hit me. You f***ing little weenies, get up.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Living that believing life. Out here living that believing life. Every day we living that believing life. Hustle like we're living that believing life. Living life, yeah, so we grinding it out. Every single day we be grinding it out. Hustle like we living that believing life, oh.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something greater inside you as well. You are a genius. So today, let's live your best belief life and learn the 3 secrets that success is based on. Okay, let's kick it off with secret #1, outwork the chart with David Goggins.
I believe in a higher power. Don't know the name, don't know where it's coming from, don't know anything like that. But I believe that this power, and visualize me real quick. Let's say it's a man up there or a woman, whatever, and they have a chart. And when you're born, they say David Goggins, born February 17th, 1975 at 6 a.m. They write the chart down because they can see everything. They know exactly where you're supposed to be. They know what you're supposed to be. You die, you go to so-called heaven. You arrive at heaven, I'm 300 pounds. I retired as an Ecolab guy, which is okay, it's just a job, whatever. I go up there and God looks at me and he shows me my chart. And my chart on there says you were supposed to be a Navy SEAL. You're supposed to weigh 185 pounds. You're supposed to be one of the smartest people on the planet, this, all this. You see this. And now you're in heaven, you made it to heaven, but you're like, God, Doug, I was supposed to live that life. I was supposed to live that life. And then you find out that the reason why, because we all think that if we pray on it, if we do this, if we do that, whatever, if we don't work, we just, whatever, it's gonna magically happen for us. No, I believe that when I'm all said and done with, my whole job is to outwork the chart. Whatever the chart says about me, the all-knowing power up there, I want to get up there and say, him look at me and say, I know everything. I didn't see this. I didn't see this. I want to feel that. I want to get to the other end of this world, and however I'm being judged, whoever's judging me, to look at me and say, I did not know, I had you at 185, I had you at this, but all this other shit, I was riding as you were living it. I want to find more, all I can. And in that sack of shit, you have to dive in that to find more. Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. You're gonna live right here on surface, man, right here on surface. So if there is an ending to this world and there is somewhere to go and there's a judgment, you're gonna get there and you might see a chart. And that chart may tell you who the f you should have been. And now you get the rest of your life to think about that. Man, I could have lived a much better life if I just would have just suffered a little bit more.
Secret #2, take action with Mel Robbins.
One night, Chris had gone to bed. I'd been struggling. We still had all the same problems. We still had a lien on the house, still facing bankruptcy, still fighting like crazy. I was still unemployed. They still hadn't figured out like the solution yet for the business. And I was about to turn off the TV, and there on the TV, there was this rocket launching, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is it. I am gonna launch myself out of bed like a rocket ship, like NASA, right here, had launched me out of that bed. And I'm gonna move so fast that I don't think. I'm gonna beat my brain. Now, here's a really interesting point. I talk a lot about your instincts and inner wisdom. And we can get into this a little bit later, but a lot of us talk about the fact that you have a gut feeling. But what all this research that I've done for the book and all the speaking that I do, what I've discovered that's fascinating is actually when you set goals, when you have an intention on something that you want to change about your life, your brain helps you. What it does is it opens up a checklist, and then your brain goes to work trying to remind you of that intention that you set. And it's really important to develop the skill, and I say that word purposefully, the skill of knowing how to hear that inner wisdom and that intention kicking in and leaning into it quickly. So for me, my brain saying, that's it, right there, move as fast as a rocket, Mel. I wanted to change my life. And I think most people that are miserable or that are really like dying to be great and dying to have more, we want to change. We want to live a better life. We want to create more for our families. We want to be happier. The desire is there. Again, it's about how do you go from knowledge to action. So the first thing in this story that's important is realizing that the answer was in me. And my mind was telling me, pay attention. Could have also been the bourbon. I had a couple of Manhattans that night. But anyway, the next morning, the alarm goes off, and I pretended NASA was there. It's the stupidest story. I literally went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I counted out loud, and then I stood up. And I'll never forget standing there in my bedroom. It was dark, it was cold, it was winter in Boston. And for the first time in 3 months, I had beaten my habit of hitting the snooze button. I couldn't believe it, and I thought, wait a minute. Counting backwards? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Well, the next morning I used it again and it worked. The next morning I used it again and it worked. The next morning I used it again and it worked. And then I started to notice something really interesting. There were moments all day long, just like that 5-second moment in bed, where I knew, knowledge, what I should do. And if I didn't move within 5 seconds, my brain would step in and talk me out of it. Every human being has a 5-second window, might even be shorter for you. You have about a 5-second window in which you can move from idea to action before your brain kicks into full gear and sabotages any change in behavior. Because remember, your brain is wired to stop you from doing things that are uncomfortable or uncertain or scary. It's your job to learn how to move from those ideas that could change everything into acting on them.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms.
You might want to get honest with yourself. Like instead of doing this, I want to be a millionaire, I want to do this. Do you really? Because you can make it happen. You actually can. Look at all the idiots that are making money. You can make money.
You want people with a like mind and that are better than you, smarter than you, more intelligent than you to get on your bus.
And secret number 3, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is Man Up with Dan Pena.
All of you guys probably had bicycles with trainer wheels, right? On the little wheels on the side of the bicycle when you ride it and you didn't fall off. And then when your parents took the trainer wheels off, what happened? You fell over on your head. And what did your mother probably, maybe your father, oh, poor baby, and rub your head? When I fell off my bike, my dad hit me. You little weenies, get up. Stand up, stop crying.
Smart man.
Yeah, I mean, man up. And now look at me. I mean, I wish love got the job done. I swear to God I do. But it doesn't. And God doesn't get the job done either. God helps those who help themselves.
Now I have a special bonus clip with Jordan Belfort on how to master your craft that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Time to go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. How are you going to outwork your chart? Number 2, where do you need to take immediate action in your business? And number 3, how are you going to man or woman up today? And if you're gonna take immediate action after watching this video, give me a #believe down in the comments as well.
Let me tell you what this is probably one of the most important things when it comes to success. In every endeavor you go for, whatever job, whatever business you start, there's gonna be certain specialized skills that are required. And you need to become extraordinary at them. Let me tell you a story. How did this whole thing happen in my life, right? How did I write this book, okay? How did I go out and take this book and turn it into this whole business that formed a movie and a global brand, right? Well, let me tell you something. I was in jail, okay? And when I show up for jail, who's my bunkmate? Believe it or not, Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong. You know Cheech and Chong? He's my bunkmate. Right? Now, I wasn't in the worst jail in the world, I admit it. I wasn't getting butt each night. My boat was not there. It was a federal prison camp, okay? It was okay, but still jail's jail and it sucks, right? Tommy's my bunkmate, because we were both celebrities. They put us together in one cube. It was a little cube. He's writing a book, right? So Tommy says to me, oh my God, we tell each other stories at night, and I have him rolling on the floor laughing. Man. So by night 3, he goes, you know, I thought you were making this shit up, but my wife Googled you, and it's all true. You live this crazy life. He goes, you gotta write a book. You gotta write about this stuff. So I said, well, I don't know how to write. He says, well, just write the way you speak, the way you tell a story. So, well, guess what? I tried that, doesn't work. Writing and speaking are very different skill sets. They just are, completely different. And for the first month or so, I'm writing a couple of pages. I show them to Tommy. He reads it, he goes, wow, that really sucks. I'm like, thanks, Tommy. Tell me what you really think, right? And I was depressed because I couldn't get anything out in paper that was meaningful or funny, right? And I almost was gonna stop, and I hate quitting anything. And I went to the prison library one day, there's prisons in the library, right? And I stumbled upon a book called Bonfire of the Vanities by Tom Wolfe. And I start reading this book, and I'm like, oh my God, this is how I wanna write. So I plow through the book, finish it, and I start back at page 1. I take out a yellow highlighter, and I use this book like a textbook. And for 3 months, I ripped apart every single word, and I broke down Tom Wolfe's strategy for writing. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you want something or how hard you're willing to work to get something. If you don't possess the actual skill set that's required to do it, it's delusion. And most people don't get that. They'll try to go into a business that's sales-based, but not master the art of sales and persuasion. They'll try to go into another type of business, not master, whatever it might be. They don't master their craft. First thing you gotta do is say, okay, I wanna do this. What specialized skills do I need to learn? And take the time to learn them. Master your craft.
If you want to know the 5 morning routines that will transform your life, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
We're gonna stop, no more of that.
There is one habit that I have adopted in the last 3 years,